Yeah. Peace. Making this video about this 50 Cent Big Meat situation. How there's a bunch of dudes on the internet, pseudo investigators, reading paperwork, calling this man who just did 19 years a snitch. But I'm gonna tell you who the real snitch is. 50 Cent. And I'm not talking about a snitch in a traditional way. When it comes to a criminal investigation, he's snitching on his comrades, but that might be true too. I'm talking about, from a historical perspective, slave plantation snitch. The snitch who snitched on Uncle Tom. The snitch who snitched on Denmark Vesey. The snitch who found out and snitched on Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman. They had something during the slave plantation days called meritorious manumission. What meritorious manumission is a reward to a slave who did something that seemed to be courageous towards the benefit of his master, either saving his master's life or snitching on somebody who's threatening his master's life. He got trinkets and rewards for this. And this is what 50 Cent did when it comes to what Big Meech and Rick Ross is planning. They were planning on stepping on the toes of Live Nation. Live Nation is the biggest concert throwers in the world. They handle tours for Beyonce, Taylor Swift. They make billions of dollars a year. They was finna do this on their own, and potentially was gonna pull in tens of millions of dollars on this one concert, which would have been the beginning of the end for Live Nation. 50 Cent saw this, and he ran to his master, just like on Django, when Steven ran to his master. Every time his master's life was threatened, his business was threatened, he ran to protect his master. That's what 50 Cent did when he saw the move that Meech and Rick Ross was finna make. Was finna book these independent artists, or these artists that might be on record labels, and throw the show on their own and pull in the money without the white man. The same situation happened in the 2000s when 50 Cent took down Murder Inc. He took down Jay Prince. Who else was that? Suge Knight. They was planning on starting their own distribution network, allegedly, and somebody snitched to the FBI, and Murder Inc. got indicted, and then Suge Knight in jail, and then Jay Prince. Everything was destroyed. That was 50 Cent. 50 Cent put an order of protection on Irv Gotti. Look at the pattern with this dude. Look at all the people that he destroyed. He took down this guy named Supreme from New York. And look what he has in common with Jimmy Henchman and Big Meech. All three of those are former kingpins who wanted to get into the music business, legitimate business, and that would have threatened Universal, Aftermath. What else? These white record labels, Jive Records, Def Jam Records. So who do they got to bring these people down? All three of them was taken down by 50 Cent. Meritorious manumission. He's a sophisticated snitch. Look at all the people that has died behind this dude. Pop Smoke. 50 Cent say, "You sound like me." All of a sudden he's dead. King Von. All these rappers dead behind this dude. Look at the guy 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine, tried to kill Chief Keef, and 50 Cent said this is his best friend, his son. Hey, 50 Cent, did you advise 6ix9ine to snitch on all of his friends? And all his friends is in prison right now, and you say this your best friend. Look at the path of destruction with this dude 50 Cent. He talking about he has this movement. He's this virtuous guy that's against snitching, right? Al Sharpton is the biggest snitch in Black America. He took down the mafia with the FBI. He wore a wire to take down the FBI, right? Now, when Sharpton made $500,000 with Kamala Harris, why didn't you, 50 Cent? Why didn't you put out the campaign that Al Sharpton is a snitch, so Kamala Harris wouldn't get involved with him and invest money with him and lose her campaign? Why don't you say anything about Al Sharpton, who's a dude right now that's leading Black America to nowhere? He's the biggest snitch in Black America. And 50 Cent has nothing to say about it. We have nothing to say about Jesse Jackson, who allegedly killed Martin Luther King. We have nothing to say about... The only people I see this dude taking down, Puff Daddy. Puffy, I ain't gonna call him Puff Daddy, Puffy. Another mogul, another black mogul. You only talk because you're protecting the interest of your masters. This is a coon, a slave plantation coon. And he's trying to tear down this dude named Big Meech. And he has his paid informants, his paid agents, his agent provocateurs reading paperwork all on the internet all day, talking about there is a documentary. There's no documentary coming. That was only propaganda just to discredit this concert. Now where's the documentary? There's no more need for the documentary because the damage has been done. They had in the 1960s COINTELPRO, where they sent agent provocateurs to infiltrate black organizations, right? In the Black Panther Party in Chicago, you had this dude named William O'Neill. He infiltrated the Black Panther Party, and he was the one putting snitch jackets on people. The snitch who got Fred Hampton killed gave the Chicago Police Department and the FBI the plans for the house and let them know exactly where Fred Hampton was going to be sleeping at. He was the ones putting snitch jackets on people. That is a telltale sign of who the snitch is. The one who's telling you that somebody else is the snitch. Like, how do you know that person's the snitch? What about you? But this paperwork that these agent provocateurs that 50 Cent is probably paying and the FBI is probably paying money to read this paperwork. I listen to some of these people and I listen to the videos and I listen to them reading this paperwork about this Big Meech, this Tammy character, this Suarez, this agent dude, and this Cuffy guy. And what I get from this paperwork is, and also some interviews with other people, a Blue Da Vinci dude, he has an interview where he says that they was trying to get this Cuffy and this Tammy lady was trying to get a movie deal with Meech's rights since 2009. They was together, but they never mentioned who introduced her to him, this Cuffy dude. So based on this paperwork, they're talking about this lady just took down some guy named Terry White, and they say she got paid $55,000. The manumission, the meritorious manumission, she got a reward for taking this dude down. And then they say, okay, we need you to continue your work. But they never talked about what was her job, what was her expertise. So you will have to assume that her job is she's just a career secret informant, like an agent. That's what she does. That's all she ever did. I'm saying this goes way back to the slave plantation. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, as far as this dude, as far as I'm concerned, he was just talking to her to get this TV deal, this movie deal. You know, she's going to visit him in jail to secure his rights. We don't even know if he even knew that this Cuffy dude was involved or who else was involved because he's in prison. And then all of a sudden, one day she's with some agent, but they never mentioned who the mark was. She said, okay, the mark was she was going to help them set up Latinos. That was the mark, but she was just with this dude in a house and spaghetti dinner, right? And one day, some swore ass called her and said, Buddy said, let me get the guy number, Cuffy number. And she interpreted that as, like if somebody called me on the phone talking about Buddy, I'm like, who is Buddy? Why would I just give you a person's number? Like, what is this? But that lets me know that this lady was going to line this guy up. He had no idea she was doing all of this stuff on his side. He just thought she was just getting a TV deal, and then one day he would have been indicted and got life in prison without even knowing what's going on. But the only thing that saved this dude was the fact that somebody leaked her name. And when they leaked her name, she said she feared for her life. But I think she really feared that the dude that thought she was getting a TV deal, a movie, would have found out and probably would have reneged on that whole TV deal. So she hurried up and ran to 50 Cent, recanted the statement, probably made up the whole thing about sleeping with the dude because they knew that was going to compromise the whole situation. But it seemed like the guy was set up from the get-go. You know, I think the lady was going to get the rights and then secretly throw this dude under the bus. But when her name got exposed, then she hurried up and damage control and blew the whole case up. And it seems as though, I don't even know, I could care less actually, but, you know, it's not my business. But I think, you know, I'm just adding my 2 cents to it. You know, I think this goes back to the slave plantation days. I think 50 Cent motivation has nothing to do with a dude snitching because his son, allegedly Tekashi 69, who snitched on his whole entire crew, who's doing decades in jail, he had nothing against that. He had nothing against Al Sharpton snitching on a mob and in the 80s, and he's still out here leading the black community. 50 Cent ain't put nothing out about that. But he has something against former street dudes who want to get into the music business and use their money that they made on the streets to invest in artists. He had a problem with that Supreme dude investing in Murder Inc. and making money and making hit records. He had a problem with Jimmy Hitchman investing in, I guess, whoever. Took him down. He doing life in prison. It's like he only has a problem with black men who want to challenge the status quo and challenge his masters, the white man. And I think when he saw Meech and Rick Ross about to make that power move against Live Nation and start their own concert and then perhaps tour, the Big Meech tour with all of these artists and have hundreds of millions of dollars, 50 Cent, you couldn't have that. Massa couldn't. You have to protect Massa's money. Massa you have to let Massa know. And you slandered this dude's name. And if I was that guy, because when you label a person a snitch, when you put a snitch jack on a person, you want that person to get murdered. Because that's what comes with that. Street politics. The snitches get killed. So 50 Cent might have a insurance policy on his life. He want Big Meech to get killed. That's the only way you're going to label a dude a snitch globally. You want somebody, or usually, I ain't going to say usually, but hypothetically, when it's a government operation like that, a psyop like that, the dude get labeled a snitch, then the government operatives could just kill him down and blame it on his ops. Somebody from St. Louis did it, and you cash in on that insurance policy. That's a dangerous game that dude's playing. That's life or death. Well, if I was that guy that he's accused of snitching on or accused of being a snitch, I would not be on the streets because that means your life is in danger. I will not walk around. I will get my a law firm, team of lawyers, and I will sue 50 Cent for everything he got because it's an easy case to win. Libel and slander is a crime, and it's a cause of action. Sue him for every dollar, all your rights, all his property, all his whatever 50 Cent owned, sue him for that. And then once 50 Cent go broke, then he won't be able to afford the security detail unless he's just a CIA operative who knows? And they have no choice but to protect the guy. But I would not be outside because that means your life is in danger. When they just label you a snitch like that, usually the next step is getting killed. That's messed up. That's all I gotta say about this. My 2 cents.